Okay, so this is the Resilient IT information technology website we're building. And this, if you scroll down, we have this section down here called podcasts, the Resilience Information Technology Podcast. She does a little introduction here. And we did all of these interviews, these 5 interviews, we did these all in 1 hour. And we did it through Zoom. So she got a nice mic and we recorded these interviews and we did 5 podcasts in an hour, recorded them, and then edited them down into individual podcasts and created just show notes, short pages, because we wanted people to listen to these actual podcasts. So I'm going to play a little of this. Little network sound effects I added.
Welcome to the Resilience IT Podcast. Your host, Elizabeth Dombrowski, and I take full responsibility for that title. But it got your attention, didn't it? It's a metaphor. And hang with me here. So let's imagine your office network. You start off with a new network, and everything's new and pristine and clean.
I want to stop to mention that Elizabeth, what she wanted to sound like was Terry Hemmert on XRT. And I thought she did a pretty great job of sounding like that. So anyways, she does this intro and we have this conversation. Now, during these podcasts, I found that summing up what she said down near the end was a really effective way of kind of getting some more additional kind of closing information. So I'm going to play a little of that.
Like they have boomerang technology built into them, or they always come back. Yeah.
So it sounds like in a network, people are just prone to make their own personal adjustments.
Yep.
Not intending to do anything, just, it's just going to happen.
Exactly.
In any kind of a place.
Sure.
And it sounds to me that you got to be really good at what you do in your role to be able to ferret those out and solve those problems. So it sounds like an experienced person like yourself is going to be able to see those things a lot quicker than somebody else. And the most important thing being that anything, dog chewing cables, network loops, it can happen, and it can take your experience.
I've been doing, people will do things.
And so will dogs.
So will dogs. So the berries will accumulate, but you got to sometimes realize that sometimes you just got to go in for a cleaning.
Can you just tell me a little bit about your experience?
I've been doing this for, since you could say I've been involved in IT since 1988, but I've been doing this full time as a career for 21 years now. So,
okay, good.
A long time. I guess I've dated myself.
You've been listening to the Resilience IT Podcast with Elizabeth Dombrowski. Be sure to visit resilienceit.com for more episodes on how to make your IT more resilient and to learn more on how Elizabeth and her crew helps organizations like yours. Thanks for listening.
All right, so what I try to do is be a little bit of the host. I recorded that little kind of closer, and we used all those. And as I said, we recorded 5 of these in a single hour. I had an intern edit all 5 of these in about 2 hours. And then it took me about an hour to just kind of put the intro, outro, little music in there. And so I consider that probably one of the most efficient that we've done to date. Now I'll show you another one here. So this is another podcast I did back in 2018. We used our iPhones and a recording app called Anchor to conduct these interviews remotely, just so that we could, easily and efficiently get these recorded. And so same thing as the other one, it's a little bit different. You can see it's not actually as good as the Zoom version, but it's still pretty solid. And again, I'm kind of set it up, and he does most of the talking and kind of doing closer, and some music. So.
Proactive Worldwide is one of the largest business intelligence firms in the world. President and co-founder David Kalinowski took me deep into the history of Proactive Worldwide and introduced me to the art and soul of today's evolving intelligence industry. With this maiden voyage of Proactive's new business intelligence podcast, I invite you to spend the next 20 minutes listening to the stories of how a proper execution of an intelligence strategy can mean the difference between making or losing millions. I give you David Kalinowski.
Hello, this is David Kalinowski. I'm the president and co-founder of Proactive Worldwide. Started the organization with Gary Magg back in 1995, and excited to be talking with you today.
Yeah, so 1995, 23 years. That's a long time.
All right, so
can you take me back to the beginning?
They have awesome experience, right? But we're seeing quality outcomes, common sense things that not everybody does anymore. So to me, the biggest thing is just keep continuing to do the fundamentals. And if you do all that well, usually both come away as winners.
Nice.
David Kalinowski, Proactive Worldwide, and a new podcast on the art of business intelligence and insights. Stay tuned for our next episode on...
So there you go. So I'm just kind of concluding it. It's got a little bit of music, and then we created this little, this one's a more extensive page, which I'm kind of moving away from. But again, another really super efficient podcast string that we had done kind of a season and followed that format. So the last thing I want to show you back over here on Resilience IT is we also have these testimonials where I'm doing these Zoom interviews now. This person did not have a really nice mic, and but I still think it's also demonstrates how effective a conversation is done. This is a 2-minute out of about 7 minutes only that was required for this. And again, I just think it shows how conversations can be a really nice content piece.
Well, she oversees our entire system. We have 2 facilities. She has pretty much drafted the entire architecture of our systems. She always sees the big picture and always leaves room for growth whenever she designs anything. She is just a wizard. She can overcome any problem or issue that we have. She always finds a solution. She's just so smart and just can figure out just about anything.
No better marketing, right, than something like that. Let's see if I can go to the end was pretty good too. Let's see if I can play this.
It's just like, Elizabeth, just stop, back up, give me the big picture, because you are just way dug deep in there and it's going over my head. So, bring it down to my level. Yeah. And then she does. And then I was like, okay, now I get it.
So anyways, I just wanted to show you that how great conversations can happen and be very authentic and really easy to produce, this little audio thing. Again, over Zoom. Now, she had a better mic, it would have been way better. And that's something I want to work on, is figuring out how to give our guests really good recording, because it's not too hard to do.